Good soldiers follow orders.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of the Baddest Batch Not Podcast. We are doing a tier list. It is one of our favorite activities to do. And we are joined with a special international guest today, being Thibaut, all the way from Italy. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno,
He's taking
gentlemen.
some time out from his modelling
Yeah.
in Sardinia.
Walking the catwalk in Milan, surely.
Thibaut, why do you not have the Baddest Batch logo embroidered on your knit shirt there? Come on, you're letting the brand down.
That's a good question.
I am, and I think it's because out of all the people we sell Baddest Batch stuff to, I'm the only one who wears short sleeve button-up shirts in this kind of weather. It's not really a card player environment, if I'm being honest. So when we start having more tropical players, we'll look into that for the brand.
We'll do
You
a
should be
I'd love
repping us
to.
worldwide.
yeah.
Worldwide.
Really, all of our clothes should
I
just
think-
have the Baddest Batch helmet somewhere on them.
So
I'm going to be honest. I think I actually have more T-shirts with the Baddest Batch helmet on it than I do actual everyday T-shirts.
I'm starting to have a few of them, yeah.
Yeah. The collection is piling up. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I remember when I used to freak
I'm,
out going to events, I'd be like, oh man, I don't have a Baddest Batch shirt. And I was like, which Baddest Batch shirt am I going to wear? It's the best. All right, let's kick
Alright,
off.
shall we?
Let's begin.
Yeah.
Let's get all started. All right, so we are going to go in order, starting with the leaders and just move through them. We're going to do a tier list on where we think they sit. Look, this is just our thoughts on them, and we're probably wrong.
No.
But
Unlikely.
it's unlikely, yeah. But you know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna rank them, and we're gonna see where they go. I think last time we had like a I know I had my iPad and we like sort of like flipped them over.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah,
We
we
did.
saw
We did
where
do
they
that.
were.
Yes.
I mean, we can do that, or do we just talk it through and we just like come to an agreement?
We'll just talk. We'll just talk it through.
I
I don't
think
have
so.
this set up today.
Yeah.
Like, I have little napkins I can write.
Yeah,
in, that's
it's
about-
just napkins from the cafe that you're like broadcasting.
Just throw
from.
some signs, some gang signs.
Yeah. That's it. You'll notice
We'll just
in
go through
our
it.
list, we have S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and Scott tier, because that is a Baddest Batch ranking system. If it's in the bottom rank, it probably just belongs with something that Scott will play, turn it into something amazing, and we'll all be shocked that he, wins 5 PQs with it.
Or not shocked. He hasn't won a PQ with Rio yet.
And I
He's
mean,
lost his
that's
Yes.
really
That's true.
that's really the testament of a skill of a Star Wars Unlimited player is have you won a PQ with Rio? All right, let's go.
You know what? I'm starting to wonder if we need a Wookiee tier as well.
Oh, maybe.
We could.
We have to include
We could.
bases though, just the jank. All right, first one up.
Who are you
is-
starting with?
We're starting with Kylo Ren. So, villainy, vigilance, or blue-black. Action. Discard a card from your hand. If you discarded an upgrade this way, draw a card. And that's his leader side. And then he flips. He's got a big flip action turn. He's a 7-cost 5/5. He has Sentinel. And when deployed, you can play any number of upgrades from your discard pile on this unit, one at a time, paying their costs. What do we think? I really want to know Clint's cat's opinion, because we're just getting full screen of its ass now.
Yeah, no, that's what you. That tells you what she thinks about it.
Yeah. Well, you would
It's-
think that, Clint, because you played against it and you didn't have a
Oh,
great
man.
time.
So much imagination with that deck.
Oh, it was good.
I would say C tier.
I would go with C tier.
Okay. I think it's B plus. Here's why.
Okay.
From a control standpoint, yes, it comes out late, and I know we were talking about this yesterday, Clint. Like it feels a punish when leaders come out late. Like I know I've struggled a lot with making power up consistently good. That's sort of a problem because he comes out at 8. I mean, and you run against these aggro decks like Sabine, where she comes out on 4, and you just get blazed over. 7 feels weak. Now, I think the control deck side of it is really good. Like his leader ability is actually really good because you can kit out with a bunch of upgrades, and you've got built-in draw mechanic, which I think is really good. Playing in a Data Vault deck that I did against Clint, it was able to give me a lot of sort of cycle through the deck that I could get to, the gas and the bombs a lot quicker. So I don't think it's that bad. The flip thing, yeah, you kind of want to time it really right. You want to have all your resources ready and play some of the upgrades, and you make a brutal, leader that can be like a 12-13 sometimes. But it's not just about that. I think his leader ability has some merit as well to be able to cycle through and just get through cards. And it doesn't cost anything. You've just got to make sure that it doesn't cost a force, it doesn't cost 1, you just get to do it by discarding a card. So you can get rid of your shit, draw a good thing, hopefully.
To me, his later side is good because you're going to discard upgrade. You don't really lose that card. If anything, you might be able to get it back when you flip him. So that's okay. If you manage to do that even 3 times before Resource 7, I think it's a good balance. You do that 3 times, you get rid of 3 cards. Now, obviously, you have to draw your upgrades. If you draw your units, you draw your events, you're going to be like your leader side is useless. I just think he's 5 flip. Obviously, he's never going to flip out of 5. You're probably going to have 1 or 2 upgrades always in the discard when he flips. It's just you have to pay for it, so you can't really dawdle. Waiting, dodging that Rival's Fall, that perilous position, stuff like that, because you have to use the resources to pay for the upgrades. Now you don't have to, right? You can, but you don't have to. I just think, you have this massive unit. I'm just worried about, is it too late to have this big unit, and what do? Do you swing base and try to finish the game? Like you can. It's probably a bit similar to what Anakin has been like for the last couple of sets. Is this big unit that comes out, potentially a game changer? But we know like Anakin's massive issue is, well, you get Rival's Fall. Like you do all this thing, you prep your Anakin, you want this massive unit, bam, dead, and your game plan just goes out the window. So I'm not sold. I'm gonna stay with C, but I can see where you're coming from.
I think you're right, and when you see like obviously Rivals Falls spanner in every works a lot of the time. I think the difference is this deck this deck, and I'm specifically thinking Data Vault, obviously. I think it's going to feast on mid range. Like you're going to get the aggro matchup. It's going to be brutal. It's not going to be fun. The control matchup could go either way, because I think 60 cards, you can have some sideboard stuff for your control matchups. But I think mid range, I don't know. Clint didn't have a good time playing mid range into this, so I think it's good. I don't think it's great. Like to me, it doesn't feel A. It might be, but I think it's B.
I think the best comparison is Anakin, and Anakin's what, B tier?
It's A tier for a little bit. We put him at A tier. I'm pretty sure. We've always called him A tier.
Probably B tier now.
Yeah,
he's probably B tier now. But I mean, you have to. If we're looking at this in a vacuum, okay, sure, he might be. You might be able to put him at B tier. But if you look at him with all the other leaders, I mean, why are you playing him over Kira?
Kira's a one-trick pony, man, and I think it's very easy to disrupt her.
But so is this Kylo. Kylo's a one-trick pony.
Yeah, one-trick pony though. That really, he can only you're only ruining this guy's day with a Rival's Fall. Kira gets blown out by an fire.
Even no good to me dead, man. No good to me dead. Like,
okay, but you're gonna have big Sentinel. Yeah, Bamboozle, sure, but like, there's so many 3-cost cards that kill Kira on her flip turn. Tell me a 3-cost card that slaps this.
Yeah, but it's not about that. Like you can't look at 3-cost card because it comes out on 7. So now it's about 5-cost cards. Like, it's like, I don't know. He's okay. Let's move on, and we can put him at like a B. Like put him at C for now, because 2 of us vote C.
Sure.
I know you said B plus. We might move him up a little bit, but I think for now let's put him at C.
All right.
Because we got a lot of leaders to go through.
We do. All right. Next one. Mother Talzin. So, blue villainy, action, use the force, lose your force token, give a unit -1/-1 for this phase. Epic action comes out on 5. She is a 3/7 with Force and Knight keywords, and on attack, you may give a unit -1/-1 for this phase. What are we thinking?
I think she's better than what people originally thought she was going to be.
Yeah.
She's very
I
aggressive.
think she's better than Kylo, to be honest.
I think she's different. I enjoyed it as much as Clint said. I'll play it once. I actually really liked the Talzin red. It was quite fun.
It was good. It was good. Like the only events you need to run: Force Throw, Force Choke, and Force Lightning.
Yeah,
and that's it.
it's a good time.
That's all the control you need. Force Lightning might actually start getting played this set.
Yeah.
The -1 is pretty. I didn't think it was going to be relevant, but it is. Just think of it like a reverse Quinlan ability that you don't have to like match the cost of the card. It's probably a little bit easier to do.
I played about a dozen games with the red one today. I never struggled to have the Force either.
No.
Like
So this answers the question about. This answers the question about: is it hard to have the Force or not? It's not.
It's easy.
It's very, very easy.
It's pretty easy. I've found it pretty easy. I think the show of skill moving into this set will be, and like some of those disrupt decks, like control decks, will be stopping your opponent from getting the Force. I think that can be done, but I don't think we're worried too much about deck building requirements to make ensure we have the Force. Like that red base, just attack with a unit, with a Force unit, gets the Force. It's great. I think she's
B tier, especially because her on attack ability doesn't cost the Force.
Yeah,
and I think that really flips your gameplay there. You can
a lot of good Knight.
Yeah, no, I think she's B tier
as well. There's some of those new cards like when defeated, use the Force -2/-2 for a phase. You tip it with her. It's pretty good. So we'll check her up.
She was a 3/7 as well.
3/7.
Yeah, it's big body.
3/7 at 5 is pretty good.
Quinlan like. It's perfect.
Is she A?
Mm,
Like she's a pretty good Force deck.
I don't know yet.
And it does the discard plan
I
very,
haven't
very
played-
well as well.
I haven't played with her enough. I think she'd be, but
I think this is
like
going to be a
reading
living
it,
tier list. I don't think
I'm afraid to play against that.
Yeah, I don't think I think this is going to be a living tier list. I think like we're likely to go through some of these and just change our mind based on the standings as we get further in. I think she's B+ A-.
She's close.
She's
close. Yeah.
Look, I'm just going to say at the outset, my hot take is that none of these leaders are S tier. I don't think
that's a hot take.
Any of them are S tier.
I don't think that's a hot take. I probably agree. I don't think any of them are.
We're about to find out.
Maybe not maybe not before rotation. That's probably a key factor.
Yeah.
Definitely not before rotation.
We need to have one, yes.
All right. Next one.
Ahsoka
Tano. Action. Use the Force. Give a friendly unit Sentinel for this phase. Epic action. Deploys on 6. She is a 5/6. And on attack, you may give a friendly unit Sentinel for this phase. This is Scott tier to me.
This is Scott tier. This has Scott tier written all over.
I honestly think this is below Scott tier. I don't even think Scott will.
Is this Wookiee tier?
He'll play it. He'll play it in some janky fucking Twin Sons shit that'll just upset me. But he'll play it, and I'll have a good time with him anyway. But yeah.
Speaking of Wookiee, I think it's very comparable to Chewbacca, and Chewbacca was not played. Yeah. Chewbacca from set 1. Yeah. Like which gave Sentinel to units that cost 3 or less.
So we'll put it in Scott tier because we don't have a lower tier. But I think Scott might play it as a meme one day.
The artwork's great though. I hate these cards that have great artwork but are completely unplayable.
It's just the hyperspace of it's going to look amazing. I'm keen to see what we saw.
Maybe not terrible in Twin Sons. Maybe not terrible in Twin. No, sorry, not Twin Sons. In drafts, maybe not terrible.
Yeah,
Sentinel's very relevant in draft.
100%, 100%. Yeah, I mean it's also relevant in Twin Sons, so I think you're right as well. Like I think could have some play.
Twin Sons then draft /sealed. I think you can get her in your pre-release and you get something that you can
Yeah.
put together. That's not too bad in those cars. I think she's gonna be alright.
Keeping the force, playing on curve, giving everything sentinel. You know, bit of delay.
The issue with leaders like Ahsoka is that the format doesn't reward you for playing slow.
Not at the moment.
Not right now.
Not at the moment.
Yeah.
It definitely does not. All right, next one.
Kanan.
Fan favorite of our boys, Kanan Jarrus. Action, 1 resource, an exhaust this unit. Give a shield token to a creature or spectre unit. Comes out on 6. Is a 3/6 shielded. And when you control another, while you control another creature or spectre unit, this unit gains +2/+2.
18.
6/8.
I mean, I'm not gonna be.
I was gonna say,
It's 5/8.
if you're putting this at A tier, I'm moving Kylo way the fuck up, and Talzin as well.
He's A tier. It's not close.
Actually,
I'm gonna nuance my answer.
please do.
Played over the last couple of days. I've played some Carbras games with Kanan Double Blue. I'm yet to lose a game. About 12-0, and obviously, in saying that now, I will lose my next one. But I haven't lost yet, just because Kanan is pretty good. Doom is a card, bro. It's a card. The new Ezra is really good.
It's a good card.
It's phenomenal because
It
like
is a
it's
good card.
almost like people don't remove it, and so you get experience token. A lot of times you have another 2 units on there, and it swings the game in 1 turn. All of a sudden your opponent is facing like 8 or 9 damage, and you're like, oh wow, I probably should have dealt with that 2/7. He's rarely a 3/6. Most of the time he's a 5/8, and you can handle a lot of stuff with 5 attack, and you'll shield it. So he's really, really hard to remove. God forbid there's Doom on the board at the same time as him. He's going to be a 6/9. Like he's to me he's been really good. I think it takes this particular type of deck to build around, but I haven't struggled to have creatures. I haven't struggled to have specters on the board. The shield ability is interesting. I think it's a bit slow, but to me it's A, just because of my experience.
I think that's the biggest drawback on it is that 3/6 coming out on 6. Like there are like Talzin's better abilities, sure, but Quinlan and Talzin are 3/7s and come out on 5. So I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know if coming out on 6, like
Because
double blue, sure.
But that's because you see it as a 3/6. I'm telling you, like it rarely happens that he's a 3/6.
Okay.
Like most of the time, he's a 5/8. Because all you need is like either 2 cost, like the Loth Wolf, like the 2/2, like the 3/3. Like all the time, I keep 2 resources just so I can play this. And now he's a 5/8. You're like, oh, now to deal with the shielded 5/8. It's tough.
FFG really values shields as well. Like as soon as something has shielded on it, it loses a whole bunch of points or its cost goes up. Like it's crazy.
I think contextually you need to look back on like how are you any less worried about like a Rival's Fall or No Good to Be Dead in the same vein as Kylo?
And I'll tell you why, because I don't think Kanan Jarrus is my win con here. If you use Rival's Fall and Kanan Jarrus, I'm like, okay, I'll just hit you with your 3 units that I have that are 4/5s because they've been buffed by Loth.
I don't think
Rival's Fall on Kylo, you feel bad.
I actually don't think Kylo did anything in the matches I had against Clint. He's really not the win con in that deck either. I can see how like he could be and sometimes probably is, but I think I think I swung with Kylo once in 3 games.
I don't think you even swung once.
No, I did because I killed you. I killed your Obi-Wan Sentinel, and that's all I did.
Give it a rating, guys. Because I said A. What do you guys see?
He's probably B. Like if you're going to say he's A, Talzin's definitely A then.
Yeah, 100%. I would think that.
Again, I think this is biased by my playing experience. I've played him. I haven't played Talzin yet.
Yeah. I think he still probably suffers from 6-cost leader syndrome.
Agree. That's the one thing in the game. Sometimes I barely catch up, but I wish he was on fire.
That's his probably issue. Like you prefer him to be like a 2/5 or a 3/5 or something and come out on 5 and still have the same.
Still have that ability. Yeah, that would feel better.
Yeah, but that's Yeah, maybe that'd be really good.
Yeah.
That'd be so good.
If you got a 5/8 on, you got a 5/8 on.
Of course it
5/8
would.
shield on 5.
Like the 5 costs 3/5 and he gets a shield is pretty good. Like, and then he gets buffed. You'd probably only buff him +1/+1 rather than +2/+2. But
Maybe.
Still good.
But I like the card. I think it's good.
But not
I'm
every
happy to go with
not every leader can be 5.
Yeah. Showcase is gonna be 5
Not,
as well.
yeah, the showcase is going to be 5.
Showcase is gonna be amazing.
Not every leader can be a 5 cost though. That's the problem.
Speaking of 5 cost leaders, next one is 5 cost, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is indeed.
is.
We've got Morgan Elsbeth. Action. Choose a friendly unit that attacked this phase. Play a unit from your hand that shares a keyword with the chosen unit. It costs 1 less. Comes out.
I gotta reread that.
Yeah. So choose a friendly unit that attacked this phase, and you play a unit from your hand that shares a keyword with the chosen unit. It costs 1 less. So your Sentinels, your Raids, Restores, all of those ones.
bad.
Cost 1 less. On the flip turn, so flipping on 5 as we said, 3/6. On attack, the next unit you play this phase costs 1 less if it shares a keyword with a friendly unit. I don't know.
I feel like this is Scott here.
No, I don't think it's that low. I think it's better than Ahsoka. I think it's low C.
I think it can't be on the same level as Kylo. So we might have to bump Kylo up. Because I think this is better than Ahsoka. You bump Kylo up. I'm happy with that. Because if Clint is. But this is worse than Kylo, I think, but better than Ahsoka.
I think so too. Yeah.
I
think we were too harsh
think
for our C
her
tier.
leader side is actually good.
It's kind of our bottom tier.
It's okay.
It
was the first one.
The leader unit.
I think the leader side is fine. Yes. I think that's okay. I think her on attack is not good.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a villainy. The Boba. You know the Boba from set 2?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels in the same, driving on the same street. Like, it's keyword dependent. Instead of getting a +1, you're getting it to cost less. So, playing stuff on curve is kind of cool, but I think it's just very easy to disrupt, right? Like, if you just get rid of the units with the keyword, then
that's the thing, right?
You have a useless leader.
Especially because if she had a keyword herself, she might be. But when she doesn't have a keyword herself, I think it's very average.
It's almost like she needs Restore or Raid. I'd happy for her to be a 2/6 with Raid 1.
A keyword.
Then you can make a Raid deck that would probably be like pretty bloody good. Play things ahead of curve.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of good Raid units that don't see a lot of play. I think it's a bit of a letdown that she doesn't have a keyword.
Because if you kill the unit that's there on her leader side, I mean, she's gonna have to pay to play something else. She's not gonna have enough to attack, and it's just meh.
Yeah.
Don't love it.
All right.
This artwork's pretty on point though.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Feeling like obviously from the Ahsoka series, like I'm keen to see what the hyperspace looks like. It's got the Imperial keyword, so I will be chasing her for the collection.
I'll be honest, I wish that her and Ahsoka were in like a dual, like the hyperspace. It would be the scene where they fight on top of the temple.
Oh yeah,
that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, or even in was it in the Mando series? Yeah, Mando series where they fought. Morgan had the Beskar spear, and she fought Ahsoka in that village swamp city. That was really fun. I liked that.
Look, I don't like if you're putting Kylo up. I don't think Talzin's on B tier. Then I think Talzin's on A tier.
Yeah, we can move her away.
I think
I'm
so.
happy with that.
I think so too.
Mostly, we'll just. All right.
So I said, living.
I don't think Talzin and Kylo are on the same level.
I don't think so either. No. All right, moving
right
along to Supreme Leader Snoke. Action 1 cost. Exhaust. Give an experience token to the unit with the most power among friendly villainy units. Epic action comes out on 6. Is a 4/7. On the flip, has on attack. Give an experience token to the unit with the most power among friendly villainy units. So can buff himself if he is the highest rating power. Feels like Bizarro Ray, right? Like she's buffing the lowest, not to over 2. He can keep going above, like she's got a ceiling. She can't buff anything with 2 or more.
His ceiling, I guess, is just the villainy tag.
Yeah.
The aspect tag. That's about it. It's not really a restriction on the amount of cards you can get.
No, not at all.
I
I like it. I think
he's good, to be honest.
I think it's pretty good.
I played a game against it yesterday. It felt pretty overwhelming. Because you still have those green villainy stuff. You still have the moles. You have the Vaders. Like this with Vader is really good because you can get some. Even if your Vader dies, then you can buff the small stuff. Like it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen to play this. I think I'm interested to see where they go with the art in the showcase, because obviously they're picking. That's the scene from what's the second sequel movie? Force Awakens.
I'm not interesting play.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I played against a Snoke Red. They played Guavian first turn and buffed him straight away. So now I had a 3/4 to deal with. I'm like, oh god,
3/4 with Saboteur.
Yuck. This is yuck.
That's. I mean, that's the kind of shit Scott does with Rey when he plays the bloody clone deserter, right? Like,
yeah. So same thing.
So yeah,
so we can keep going with this.
I think it's exactly. I think this is pretty good. What
might
do you
be
think?
A, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's B.
Do you think it's high B? I think it's high B if it's B. Like
probably high. Yeah.
Like
look, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of these leaders don't really stand out to me in this.
I think it's good because he's on attack and buff himself, and I think that's where he really.
That's right.
Takes extra level. If it wasn't him, it would be bottom B. But I
think it's A.
My vote is low A, but I'm happy to go with.
I think it's A. Like, I mean, we got it. Like, to me, the direct comparison is just a villainy version of Rey, and Rey sees a lot of play. So I think the people who favor like villainy cards are gonna who kind of want to play that kind of deck are gonna see something in here and make it a really good one. So I think he's a pretty strong leader. And comes out at 6 as a 4/7 is nice.
Yeah, 6 costs 4/7. 4/7 is really good. I think it's more comparable to Tarkin than it is to Rey. But potatoes. I don't think it'll. Someone will come out with some sort of swarm Snoke deck, and they'll like champion it, and they'll spike a showdown with it or something like that. But I don't, unless.
Look, in a world where Palps are winning PQs, man, I don't see this as not being able to win something big.
Palp won a PQ.
Yeah, I mean, it's won a couple. Palp Yellow.
Has it?
Yeah. Palp Yellow is sitting in one of the top 8 for PQ
look,
wins.
I mean, Snoke double green might be a thing.
Could be.
Probably won't be, but it might be.
Might be.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, I think it's probably more a B, but we'll wait and see.
All right. Next one. Avar Kriss. Action. The Force is with you. Create your Force token. This is the interesting one. Epic action. If the number of resources you control plus the number of times you use the Force this phase is 9 or more, you can deploy this leader. And when she deploys, she is a 4/10, and while the Force is with you, the unit gets +4 and gains overwhelm, so it becomes an 8/10. I think this is high C, low B. I'm not a smart enough deck builder to know how to make this work. I think more often than not, you're probably going to be coming out on 7. Your worst case feels like you'd be coming out on 8. I feel like you'd be able to get her out on 8. But I think
7's realistic.
I think 7 is probably going to be quite consistent, especially because she just brings the Force back, so you can use it twice, really, in a turn and then flip her. The trick will be to, when you deploy her, still having the Force to make her the 8/10 with overwhelm. I think that's going to be.
I don't know that that's realistic on 7.
I don't think it will be either. But I mean, it remains to be seen. Again, better deck builders than us will hopefully work it out and make it interesting. I think she's, to me, I think she's the most interesting leader of this set that has that weird flippability. You know, like Poe from last set being able to deploy with outside of his epic action. That was really interesting. I really liked that. I think she's C though. I think it's gonna have a tough time to break out anything too serious before we see rotation. That's me personally.
I think I want to put her in Scott T because he's the kind of player that would make that work. Not because I think she's a D tier, but because that's the kind of deck that Scott would play. I agree with you. I think she's C. I think her leader action is actually really good. The Force is with you, like being able to get the Force relatively often is really interesting. I think if you, it's just, I think that's really good. For free and without attacking with anything, so your when played abilities can be triggered really well. And I think she's really interesting. I think it takes a really good deck builder and a smart player to play that and a lot of practice. But I think for now, I think maybe C.
Yeah. Clinton?
I think she is still very difficult to evaluate.
Agreed.
Yeah. So where are we going to put her?
I don't know.
Put her C for now.
C or Scott tier. Probably bottom C is fine for now, but she could turn out to be really busted as well.
Yeah.
We could put her Scott tier for the means.
Put it top of the Scott tier. Scott's 100% playing it. So we'll say
it's actually the first layer is playing.
When we do like the image of this, and we share it around. Yeah. Wouldn't be shocked. We'll impose like a C on it, but leave it in the Scott tier. The next one, another fan favorite, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Here we go.
Now
we got real talk.
Action: use the Force. Give an experience token to a unit without an experience token. He deploys on 5. Is 3/6 and is on attack ability. Is you may give an experience token to another unit without an experience token on it.
I think that's A.
I think it's low A, high B.
I think it's A, borderline S, but too soon to tell. Because what you're doing with Obi is you are playing above curve without having to pay for it.
Yeah.
You kind of pay for it, but...
So you're not getting any sort of like resource discount, but you're getting a highly statted unit.
Yeah.
I think you have to look at the cost of the Force, right? I think we have to start looking at the Force as a resource. You have to do something to acquire it. Like there's got to be conditions. We know it's not hard, but you have to have it.
Yeah, no, for sure,
no, it's not hard.
But he's right.
I think he's really good.
He's right in the sense you are doing it above curve because you can play a 3-cost unit on 3, and as long as you've got the Force, which on that turn you more than likely do, it's now a 4/4.
If you have initiative.
Yeah.
If you have initiative, you manage to attack with a Force unit. If you don't have initiative,
that's those bases. Yeah. But remember, there are other bases that are just like have a unit with 3 health or 3 or more health or something, and the Force is with you or some shit like that. Like I think, isn't there one of those rare bases? It's not all of them are attack dependent. No, not all of them are attack dependent.
No, some of them are like the blue one at 25 health is like if you've got
a unit with 3 or more HP. Yeah, 3 or 4, something like that. You just get it in the regroup phase. A few of them are regroup phase dependent. So if you play something,
but it's when the regroup phase. But again, you're talking about this. If you're controlling 4 or more remaining HP on turn 1, unlikely. You don't have a lot of units with 4
green
or more HP remaining.
Yeah, I think it's 3. I don't think it's 4. So I think
it's 4. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, is it 4?
It's 4. I'm looking at it right now.
What are the yellow ones?
That you're talking about?
What are the yellow ones? Not the yellow rare bases. What's the regular?
My turns are loading, but I can't see.
Because I know the red.
Anyway, I know it's easy. It's relatively easy, but not as not on turn 1.
Regardless, I still
I think it's A.
I still think it's at A.
So just think like playing Ezra Bridger on 3, the 3/5, the new one, and then you've attacked with your Force unit already, and then he becomes a 4/6 on 3. Like that's.
I'm not denying he's unreal. He's phenomenal. He's great if you can pull it off. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's not for free, and it's not guaranteed to have the Force. That's all I'm saying.
We're quibbling over free. It's just resource free. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Let's
When
we'll
the
say
one
that,
thing
we'll
is,
move on. We'll go to the next one.
if you take the blue rare base and you play Yaddle first turn, then yes, you have a
Mhm.
4 health unit. Then you get your 4s, and then it's unstoppable from there on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
for
lots
sure.
of
I think it's borderline S.
even the new Wookiee is in here 2-4 or 2-5.
Yeah.
Like there's heaps now. So
5.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely high A.
One time.
All right,
Darth Maul.
we're getting into the
What is he
reds.
on?
All right, red villainy. Darth Maul, action, use the Force. Deal 1 damage to a unit and 1 damage to a different unit. Comes out on 6 and is a 5/6. And on attack, deal 1 damage to a unit and 1 damage to a different unit. It's underwhelming to me, to be honest, but I'm sure it's an aggro-y kind of thing. But he comes out on 6, so is it that aggro-y in this meta? I kind of don't think so.
See?
I feel like the other Maul unit from Twilight was better. 6/6 overwhelm. Give a unit overwhelm.
And
The
he
flip
barely
side,
got
yes, but
played.
not his leaders action.
Yeah, his leader action was a bit meh.
Underwhelming.
I think this is lowest possible C at absolute best.
Yeah.
But it's probably in the Scott tier.
I think it's C.
I
but
think it's C.
Scott, I think it's C because you can pick it up and play it fine in any kind of format. You don't need, it's not hard to deck build around. You can play it in draft. You can play it in constructive. I think that's what I mean. I think if you're Scott tier, it's fucked to
And
play
I think if you're not let's always take out things like PQs and hyper competitive events. Like if you want to just have a good time playing some cards, I think he's not bad. He's not great. He doesn't do anything amazing. But
Look, if you equate the Force to like having the Force tokens have as 1 resource, and then you can do 2 damage with that Force token, I mean that's on rate. And
it's not
if
bad.
you
It's a
sequence it
1/1.
correctly, yeah. I mean, if you sequence it correctly, you can kill some units, but
sometimes
it's
it
not
is enough.
it's not a strong ability.
No,
I will say
not when
his
you can
best
do
comparison
Talzin.
is
Like if you wanted to play like this in blue or something, you'd play Talzin because
You just play Talzin.
it's a better.
his best
outcome.
comparison is Mace Windu from Twilight, and he didn't take off.
Ah, true. Yeah. Comes out a turn earlier than him because Mace comes out on 7.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Then he didn't do much, so I don't think.
yeah, definitely.
Bottom tier. Third sister. God, I don't like this character.
Third sister. Don't know what happened there with the slideshow. Just went to nowhere. Action. Exhaust this unit. Play a unit from your hand. It gains hidden for this phase. Epic action. If you control 5 or more resources, deploy this leader. Is a 5/4 when comes out. Is hidden. And on attack, the next unit you play this phase gains hidden.
Okay.
Scott tier? I don't think it's I mean, if you're going to play this, you play Kylo.
As in
set
2 Kylo.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A 5/4 that comes out on 5 doesn't feel great.
What if you take out Kylo? Even if you just focus on this set, where do you see her? I just don't think that compared to the other leaders, I don't think she's good.
I think if you're going to play if you want to play these colors, I think you play Maul over her.
The only thing, like, I'm not an experienced TCG player, so I don't know what how well or how good the mechanic of hidden is, like on when you're playing.
Yeah.
Now, one of Kylo's big weaknesses was just being able to be one shot off the board straight away. This can't happen to her. Like, you can set up your board state to
not with
kill Kylo as soon as he's deployed.
Be careful because hidden it means you can't be attacked. You can be targeted.
I know you can be removed. Yeah, I know you can be targeted by removal, but that's you're taking away 50%. Yeah, you're taking away 50% of.
Granted.
Yeah.
Granted.
I still think in like looking at this set in its own thing, I think you're going to pick Maul over her. She comes out a resource earlier, sure, but I think stat wise, I'd rather wait a turn and get a 5/6 than get a 5/4 come out early.
But looking at the removal in the set, like in a limited format, I don't think there's much removal that actually hits her.
Well,
Again, even if you don't, it's a 4. It's a 5-4. She might hit for 5.
Sure.
Okay, and then
You-
we'll move
you-
on now. Just on his turn. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
It's got to be
either.
aggro.
I think there's
It's
a
gotta
lot
be
of
aggro.
there's a lot of minuses, like -1, -1, -2s,
Yeah.
-2s, and I think like yeah, you can't attack her, but like that other the 2/4 that has when defeated use the force -2, -2, you attack something else, and then
Yeah.
give her -2, -2. You combo it with Talzin, all of a sudden she's only got 1 health left, and then deal 1 damage isn't hard in a lot of things. You got Sorceress Blast, and all of a sudden she's dead. And you've got the force. So
Interesting.
yeah, I think she's lower than Maul, personally.
Yeah, she can.
We'll
I
see.
wouldn't be surprised if she got up to B, but C's probably.
I'm not. I wouldn't be either. I wouldn't be either. In an aggro, I think she could be a good aggro. You don't want to have a 25 health base against her.
No,
I know that comparing her with Kylo is the closest comparison, but I do think they're on slightly different game plans.
agreed, 100% agreed.
Cool. Moving on. If I got to
Next
check
one.
out in a
Yep.
bit, so
Yeah.
we'll
Kit
move on.
Fisto.
Tibo's got a flight to catch.
Kit Fisto, action 1 cost exhaust. If you attacked with a Jedi unit this phase, deal 2 damage to a unit. The leader phase comes out on 5, is a 1/6 with Saboteur. This unit gets +1/+0 for each other friendly Jedi unit. Haven't had a great time with this leader, but
Scott tier.
it's a Scott tier for me.
Scott tier.
It's
Scott tier.
It is. I think it's. We'll go there. He's definitely better than
The
Watsy.
art only deserves for it to be Scott tier. The art is foul.
It's average.
With all the respect to whoever drew that.
Agreed. It's pretty average. Let's not even.
It's Scott. It's no. Nobody plays that.
I think there's just a lot of red hero leaders you'd rather play than him.
I agree.
For example, Ray.
Next one, Ray.
Definitely. Is
Action.
there below Scott tier?
If you played a non-unit force card this phase, deal 1 damage to a unit. Comes out on 6, is a 6/8, and when deployed, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. It's a shame.
It's just not good.
It's a shame. Yeah, I think looking at Ahsoka,
Shit.
I think it's worse than Ahsoka personally.
I think so too.
Here's,
So 1 damage to a unit?
here's the thing.
Fuck.
You're right. I think
Fuck
we
it
should
off.
caveat all these kinds of videos that we do until like year 5 of this game, and we're actually a bit more experienced. We are not experienced TCG players. There's probably some form of mechanic in other TCGs that makes this kind of leader gas as shit. It's just not now. It's not in this meta of SWU. When you've got so many like fast leaders that are deploying on 4 and hitting your base for 1 million, this ain't it, I don't think.
Doesn't do enough.
The aggro guys are going to look at you and said, yeah, okay, you're going to flip on 7 and draw 2. All right, I'm just going to hit you for another 8.
I mean, yeah.
For my rebel assault.
I don't know what you're pairing this person with. And people watching this, please comment. And if we're wrong, tell us how we're wrong and send us a deck list. We will play it on stream to see, but I don't see it. I don't see this.
You're pairing it with
Only
a lot
tell
of-
us we're wrong if you subscribe, though.
Yeah,
That's what I would add.
I would like that. Tell us
Can't
you're
subscribe.
You're
That's the only one.
Subscribe,
You're
tell
pairing
us
it
you're
with
wrong.
blue.
You are, right? And why are you? Like, why are you doing that? I don't know. Let's
You
move
might as well
right
just
along.
play the other way.
We're getting to the tail end of it, guys. We'll push through, and Tebow can go catch a flight and spend some time with his lovely wife. Barriss Offee. Action, use the force. Play an event from your hand. It costs 1 less. Deploys on 6, is a 4/7. Action,
Yep.
use the force.
I think that's A.
Play in a... Sorry?
I think that's A.
Okay. Action, use the force, play an event from your hand. It costs 1 less. I like that it's an action. You just can do that while she's deployed. It's kind of cool. Comes a problem. A.
I think it's A or S.
I think it's pretty good. Yellow, black. Some good events in there.
Have you played against it yet?
No. I watched. I did
I
see
played it.
something. I don't remember the content creator, but I saw a video. It looked pretty fun.
played against it the other day, and that she did. She played it with the green base, the 28 health, which you can get the force like 3 times, I think.
Oh, yep. Ooh.
Turn 1 resupply.
Oh shit! That's some...
I won the game. Again, that was my Kanan, which
Yeah,
undefeated so far, but I think this has crazy potential. I think
Yeah.
that's S.
Think it's S? I don't think it's S. I'm happy with A.
I think.
I'd probably put it in the
Like,
middle, but I can see
it's
how...
versatile. Turn 4 of, I mean, resource 4 of Rolling Barrage. Like, it's the type of things that are game changer.
Oh,
Yeah,
Like,
that is pretty gross.
that is.
It's what I mean. It's like, it's the type of things like, it kind of remaps everything that we've been used to playing against, like red, green, yellow, villainy. Again, thank the Lord they got rid of TDR. Imagine having to face TDR with this thing.
God.
It's
Right?
it's
So
actually
that's
it's actually interesting that it is use the force on a leader side as well, on a unit
Yeah.
side.
And just an action. It's not an on attack. It's like Han 2. Just do the thing. You can do it as many times as you want.
I think she's really good.
Yeah, no.
All of a sudden, even if you want to play with aggro, it's you play less for sneak attacks, you pay less for surprise strikes. Like,
one cost surprise strike
you-
is
I-
hectic.
I think you can really get taken by surprise by this type of things. Like, the math is so
Sure.
hard. You have to count everything on curve plus 1 less. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What
I think it's S, but I'm happy if you guys want to put A. I'm happy with A.
I'm still of the opinion. This is really tough, right? Because we never really put the what we were gonna do. Is it in a vacuum? How do you do that? I hate these tier lists for that very reason. I agree with Clint's take at the start, where I actually don't think anything in this set is going to break into S tier. Because if I look at S tier as like Sabine is S tier, I don't think anything in this quite, comes to that level. So I'm struggling to go. In my mind, that sounds like an S tier. I think, Obi-Wan and Talzin probably have arguments to make to go into S tier. But are any of them S tier in the context of this meta? I don't think so.
In the grand scheme, I think maybe not. Don't mind me, I'm just going back to Florence. We keep going.
Right. Gonna go on.
Grand Inquisitor.
Grand Inquisitor. Oh shit, where'd the thing go? Yeah. Grand Inquisitor. Action, use the force. Attack with a friendly unit. The defender gets -2 for this phase. Deploys on 5. Is a 3/5 shielded, and on attack, the defender gets -2 for this attack. This is very towards the bottom, personally. Feels like
I don't think he's any better than the other Grand Inquisitor.
I think he's definitely better than the other Grand Inquisitor. No, sorry, other way around. He is not better than the other Grand Inquisitor. If I was going to pick a Grand Inquisitor to play, it wouldn't be this guy. It's just Jinn, right?
Yeah, it's just better Jinn.
Slightly
And
better.
Jinn's not even good.
Oh yes, baby.
Slightly better Jinn Urso. I think it's probably better. Probably rates better than Kit Fisto, personally.
I actually don't think it's Scott tier. I think you'd probably find in C, but I don't think it's Scott tier. I think people will play it.
Yeah.
Clint tier.
What'd you say?
I say it's Clint tier.
Clint tier.
Yeah, it's me tier. Yeah.
Love to see Clint play this. All right, next one. Oh, the boy Cal Kestis. I love. Oh man, I love those games. Action: use the force. An opponent chooses a ready unit they control. Exhaust that unit. Epic action: if you control 4 or more resources, deploy this leader. So it comes out on 4. Is a 3/4 on attack. An opponent chooses a ready unit they control. Exhaust that unit. That's kind of good. Comes out on 4, Clint. That's got to be big points for you.
Yeah, it's 4.
Can you read him again?
His what?
He's trash. He comes out. He's 4/4. Comes out on trash. Comes out on 4 trash.
Okay, you liked Kaz.
I did like Kaz, but Kaz also had 5 health.
He's a 2/5, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
And he could also be a pilot, which he was then a 3/3.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's that good.
I don't think he's not groundbreaking. I don't think he's bad.
Can you read his effect again, TV?
So
you
on
got
it, hang on. So his leader ability is exhaust, use the force, an opponent chooses a ready unit they control, exhaust that unit. And then his on attack ability is an opponent chooses a ready unit they control, exhaust that unit.
Sounds like Akbar.
Yeah.
I think it'd be very different if you could choose the unit to exhaust, even if it was like 3 cost or less.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines.
It's like that.
The fact that your opponent gets to choose is just like, it's like all you have to do is do what you do with Power of the Dark Side and just throw some like chaff out there as Power of the Dark Side bait.
Yeah.
Can you choose something that's already exhausted?
No, because you're not changing the game state.
Yeah,
so you would have to exhaust something if there is a valid target.
Because it says choose a ready unit.
Oh yeah.
They have to choose a ready unit they control. Look, it reminds me of there's that card from set 2. It's like a Coruscant Dissident or something, which was like on attack. It was a 4 cost 4/4. On attack, you could exhaust a unit. It kind of is ish to that. 3/4 feels understated, but I mean he comes out on 4, so I don't know. I don't think it's terrible. I think compared to the other 4 cost leader units, he's probably the bottom of those. But I think coming out at 4 gives him something. I don't know.
It's not terrible. Maybe B.
I think
it's
do you
C.
think?
I think it's C, but I think it's probably towards. I think it's better than Maul.
It's just it's 3/4 on 4. Ugh.
Oh yeah, it's 3/4. Yeah, no.
Disgusting. It's a Fighters for Freedom.
Yeah.
Not even a Fighters for Freedom.
So what do we think? Below Maul or above Maul?
Below.
All right.
Yeah.
Below or above Third
below
Sister?
Reva. Below Reva.
Okay, but above Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Cool. Last of the cunning, Qui-Gon Jinn. Action. Use the Force. Return a friendly non-leader unit to its owner's hand. Play a non-villainy unit that costs less than the returned unit from your hand for free. Deploys on 6, is a 4/7, and when this unit completes an attack, you may return a friendly non-leader unit to its owner's hand. Play a non-villainy unit that costs less than the returned unit from your hand for free. It's janky, but I don't think it's bad.
I think it's good.
I think this is one of those leaders that will either be super janky or someone will bust it right open.
Yeah. I think it's, for me, I think it's probably top of the C, bottom of the B.
Ooh, I think you're being harsh with the C.
I think B's perfectly fine. I think that being able to bounce and replay stuff,
Yeah.
if you can get a whole lot of like on played, I think
good.
that's where it's going to get busted. And as I said, someone will figure out how to bust it, and then we'll all be
hear me out.
cursing our double yellow Qui-Gon Overlord towards the end of the meta.
Yeah.
Have you played against it already?
No.
So I played one the other day. He had me fucked up with his fucking sneak attacks. Play sneak attacks.
You're bringing it
Play
back.
expensive stuff.
Yeah.
Brings it back. Play something cheaper, and I was like, bro, it was really good.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like, if you can find ways to play stuff for cheaper, bring them back. Like it's a very interesting thing. I think it's better in C.
Okay. Yep. Well,
Like I haven't explored the whole
got
I
it
haven't
in
explored the
B.
whole thing yet, but display alone made me really interested in the leader.
Yep. All right. B, and we will move to our
I
second
think B.
last.
I think B is fine.
So our penultimate leader this evening is Darth Revan. When a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, give an experience token to that friendly unit. Deploys on 5, is a 3/6 with restore 1. When a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may give an experience token to that friendly unit. Now, as this is my favorite leader of the set, and I didn't have a good time with it when we streamed, but I think, obviously, I think it's a good leader. For me personally, I love Revan. I love Knights of the Republic. I'll sing it to the day I die. I'm gunning hard for a showcase of this. I'm gonna play it. It's gonna be fun. Now, ranking it.
If somebody pulls one, feel free to oversell it to TV. He will buy it off.
Oh, probably will. It's 100% true.
I will definitely be overselling it to TV, but we know I'm only going to pull fucking Third Sisters and
you're
gonna pull.
Your first one's gonna be a Ray, Clint.
Kestis.
I can tell you now. You are gonna pull a fucking Ray. It's probably gonna be in your first pre-release kit you open. I can see it.
I think it's gonna be Kestis for you first.
Scott.
It's gotta buy it for sure.
It's got to buy it for sure.
I think there's something in there. My biggest gripe, and we'll compare it in the next leader. The ability doesn't feel like it's worth losing the color aspect. I think that's the biggest gripe I've got with it. Now, I don't want to spoil too much because Clint's playing the game, but they could have lent heavily into him being able to do stuff with heroic cards. And it feels like flavor-wise, they didn't. And I think that's what probably throws me off the most when puts me off the most when sort of looking at this card. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play the shit out of it. I'm gonna play it in every color to see what I can, have fun with and have a good time. Maybe I'll bring it out in Twin Suns just for a good time as well. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
It's not as penalizing in Twin Suns.
It's not because you're getting a second color elsewhere anyway.
Exactly.
But yeah, I feel like they could have made this a little bit better. 3/6 on 5 with restore 1. It's not a bad leader. It's just you kind of penalized a little bit more than I think you should be for not having there should be a bit more of a benefit. But again, I think there's something there, and I think better deck builders than me are going to find something and make it cracked. I lent into playing it with the ambush. Maybe that's not exactly the best way to play it. I don't know.
So do you think he would be better if it was, instead of play a villain card ignoring the aspect, play a hero card ignoring the aspect?
Yeah, I mean, that might be a bit stale.
To kind of play into the theme of it or something like that.
Yeah, just something. Give him something to be able to do with heroic cards. Like, could he play heroic cards without an aspect penalty? Could he have both? Maybe not.
I was about to say, could he have hero and villain aspect?
Yeah,
that could be.
I think that'd be too good.
It probably would be.
If you could,
but
because then it's like, if you think about it, like that's what's interesting about Chancellor Palpatine. Then Chancellor Palpatine just goes out the window.
Yeah. Maybe the aspect penalty for play heroic
you have to do
is
things.
Halved. Maybe it's only an extra 1 cost instead of 2. I don't know. I'm not a card designer, but I feel like there could have been something that allowed him to build into that. That's probably my gripe.
So not to go off tangent, but more similar to this conversation, is back in Destiny, 2 of my favorite decks were monocolored decks. One was like a yellow-colored Han Kira, where you could play, if you played both these two characters together, you could play hero and villain cards in the same deck, but obviously you're restricted by only having these two characters. And also the other one was a Rey Kylo, which was a mono blue deck, which allowed you to do a similar kind of thing. And it wasn't like they overtook the meta, but the Rey Kylo was very strong towards the end. But it wasn't like dominating everything. But it's definitely an interesting mechanic to deal with. Just being locked into one aspect, but being able to play cards from both heroic and villainous pools as well. Like I actually really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think that's what this is missing, right?
Yeah,
Like, and they
I
could have
think you're right. I think it needed to have both.
something, and we'll talk about it in the next card, obviously, because it does. But like that's what I feel this one misses. Having said that, I still don't think it's that bad of a leader compared to some of the other ones in here. Like, I might draft him over Avar Kriss or Kit Fisto, because trading efficiently and giving experience is still a pretty good ability.
Oh, for sure.
So, and I look at some of these other leaders, like we're looking at Morgan Elsbeth. I still think Revan's better than Morgan Elsbeth. Still think it's probably better than Maul, Third Sister. I don't know. Where do you guys see it? I'm going to be biased, so I'm just going to go with, if you guys agree on a list, I'll probably go with it. Because I'm biased. I think it's probably C or B.
Look, I've seen some other people playing it, and they've just got these big, massive units with all these experience tokens on it. So I think it is possible. Is it easily disrupted, though? I think is the question, and that takes us back to the new Kylo. Is he easily disrupted with all these upgrades? Yes. So at most, I would put him on a Kylo tier.
Okay. Tebow?
Just because he can do a similar kind of thing, as in like go tall, but he can also be blown out super duper easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, potentially. It's funny because he's a bit similar to me. He's a bit more similar to Obi-Wan than he is to Kylo. To me,
Okay.
Yep.
we're dishing out the experience.
Yeah.
Rather than like a go tall, he's dishing out like you can kind of pick. So I think he's around similar. What do we have Obi-Wan as like A? I think he's like a low A, high B, maybe something like that.
I would say B. I'd put him at B, but I'm happy to be wrong. Someone could just like blow his back out.
I'm going to go low A inside with Tebow because he's on bias.
That's what TV likes it so much.
I'm just going to play into the bias at this point.
If Revan's A, Snoke is definitely not A.
What do you think Snoke is then?
Snoke's B. I'm happy for Snoke to be B, but I don't think Snoke's A.
Okay. All right, we'll put him at the top.
It might be whatever.
If I'm going to veto
the last one,
all right,
it would be the Snoke.
All right, let's do the last one. Anakin Skywalker, heroic only, action, use the Force, play a villainy non-unit card from your hand, ignoring its aspect penalties. Flips on 5 is a 4/6, action, use the Force, play a villainy non-unit card from your hand, ignoring its aspect penalties. Now, thematically, we know why this is. I would have loved for that to be Revan's ability, reversed, and then do something else for Anakin, personally. Gripe over, we'll move straight along. I think this is strong as shit. Like, that's
strong.
That's so good, right? Like, I
think it's really good. That's probably A+, borderline S, I think.
Yeah, I think this is an A.
I've got when I was talking about Darth Revan, I was getting Anakin and Darth's abilities mixed up.
Yeah.
I think Revan and Anakin probably should have been opposites. Or they should have just made Anakin like a light side Revan. That's neither here nor there, and just had opposite kind of abilities.
I think
the hero one can play the villain cards, and the villain one can play the hero.
Well, he can
cards
play villain events, because by the end of it, this is the line that they're going down. This is a snapshot. He's kind of teetering on the edge of being evil, maybe.
Yeah.
Whereas, Revan, I feel like maybe he can play heroic units. I don't know. That being said, I think
he can play units as well once he flips, right?
Yeah. Well, no.
No,
it's still non-units cards, so it's events and upgrades.
Doesn't he say card?
No, play a villainy
on his flip side as well.
Yeah, villainy non-unit card.
Okay.
So I like looking at this, and again, just thinking down the arc of my kind of playstyle being control. and I've had this conversation with Scott a bunch of times, to be able to play blue heroic stuff and play blue villainy removal, Power of the Dark Side, those other things, I think that's cool. I think that's dope. There's so many, like, put it in green, like playing overwhelming barrage in a heroic deck. It's pretty wild.
And the good thing is that you can but the good thing is you can actually play both these things.
Yeah.
Because you ignore the aspect penalty. You ask all penalty,
right.
not just the villainy penalty.
Yeah.
So you can play Full Stroke, you can play Overwhelming Barrage, you can play Power of the Dark Side, you can play No Glory Only Result, you can play all of those if you want. Like, you're ignoring all the aspect penalty. That's why it's really strong.
Yeah, I know.
So to me, it's A or S.
Yeah, so you can play. Yeah, you'd pair him with blues, but then you just play all the broken villain stuff.
Whatever.
All the broken villain stuff. Like, you get
I'm
all this high health, high stuff, Sentinel, janky blue villain shit, and then just playing busted villainy events, and even villainy upgrades.
Yeah.
Like Fallen Saber, like all the good shit you want in a bunch of different colors. Just gassing it out is amazing. You're right. I think it's
and he's a 5. I actually that's
out
probably
5?
a borderline S. Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Top of the A's, we think.
I'm gonna have to bounce, gentlemen.
That's all right. We're gonna leave him at the top of the A's unless Clint says lower.
Yeah, I'm happy with like top of the A's. I think looking at him a little bit closer, A's a pretty good spot there.
Yep. All right. This is it. Thank you for joining us, Tebow. We appreciate you signing in
now
from
I have
the
to
other side
go
of the
take care of my
world.
beautiful wife.
Yes, go and give her the attention she deserves.
I'll talk to you guys soon. And obviously, again, as always, guys, remember to subscribe. Darling, yes, you have a comment. Subscribe. Please feel free to tell us why we're wrong, even though you'd be wrong in that case. We'll also be revisiting our tier list from the previous set shortly, because obviously it turns out we made some mistakes somehow. I'm not sure how that happened. We'll have a look back at the video to see. We may have made some mistakes, so we'll double check. But that's all for me, gents.
That's all from us. Thank you for tuning in. And as he said, like and subscribe. I'm going to steal his line. As always, good soldiers follow orders.
Deuces.
Bye, guys.